ain't gonna lie. You wanna know what you look like? You look like a Usnau particular Fatomanak. That's what you look like.
Oh, the boy moet zo used to that non-S800. Yo,
I ain't gonna lie, Manut. I ain't gonna lie, Manut. The side of your shit look
Your head looks like a
no.
One of the things I've always loved about the model series of Thomas & Friends is the diverse amount of characters it brings to the roster. In terms of personality and development, a lot of engines don't really end up getting the best treatment. However, almost always, you're bound to find an engine that is in some way unique. And one of the most unique, in my opinion, is Fergus, the traction engine, who, because of his basis, is arguably one of the most unique engines on the island of Sodor. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be diving into Fergus's history, and taking a closer look at his basis, the model of him, and hopefully leaving this video with a little bit more knowledge about the character. So, with the intro out of the way, let's get down to the facts. Oh, never mind, there's a second intro, my bad. Fergus is a fictional traction engine created by Brian Truman, who made his debut in 2003, that being in Season 7 of Thomas & Friends. That episode was Bill, Ben, and Fergus, and he would later appear in other episodes as well. For example, Salty Stormy Tale and Fergus Breaks the Rules. However, he hasn't appeared in the television series since then, and there are a few reasons for that. However, we'll get more into that later. Fergus is based on the Aveling & Porter 2-2 0WT TJ Class Railway traction engine, specifically number 9449, the Blue Circle. The Blue Circle has also been dressed up as Fergus in real life, and the two bear some striking resemblances. Aveling Porter were well known, that being for their road-going steam engines, but they also built a few railway locomotives, and this is one of these examples. What's interesting about the Blue Circle is it formerly operated at a cement works and was presented to the Bluebell in 1964, that being by its owners, Associated Portland Cement. Finally restored to working order after many years of inactivity, it was not a locomotive which really fitted in with the niche of the Bluebell Railway, and so was initially loaned in 1997 to a group who owned another small locomotive that was quite similar, and would subsequently sell it to them. It would move around quite a bit more until January of 2015, where it would move to its current final resting place, the Rushden, Higham, and Wellingborough Railway. This is all notably interesting because Fergus primarily works at the Sodor Cement Works, based on the Kirk Ronan branch line, and thus is notably called the Pride of the Cement Works. So that's a little bit of mirroring from real life, I suppose. Now let's talk about his Gauge 1 model. The model of Fergus was scratch-built to run on Gauge 1 track by model maker Chris Lloyd, with most of the model being built from brass, and being painted in a matte finish. He was lined with gold automotive pinstripe tape, and the model itself was track-powered, so pickup contacts were attached to his metal wheels. The model was also fitted with a smoke unit and a working flywheel. Just like the other characters, he had a familiar eye mechanism and a familiar story for the faces as well. The eyeballs would run on 2 servos, up and down and left and right, however the crew desired, and the faces were resin casts that were first sculpted in clay. In total, Fergus had about 10 different facial expressions made. However, in the few episodes we would see him, we would only be exposed to 7, thus leaving his sleeping face, his jovial face, and his exhausted face basically unused. I say basically because his sleeping face was actually used in a promotional image. I'm sure you can notice a few differences between Fergus's model and the actual basis of him, and that's because Chris Lloyd found Fergus quite difficult to build, as his small size meant there was very little room to fit his components, and everything that would be needed to make him work. His smoke box and the middle section of his buffer beam are quite larger than his basis, and this is done to accommodate his face. During the filming of the episode Bill, Ben, and Fergus's model was damaged in the scene where he got buried by a rock slide. The model still worked, but the exposed mechanism that powered his flywheel and the smoke unit was jammed. All of this by a single pebble, leaving the flywheel unable to turn and the smoke unit unable to function. As a result, the model was never used again after the 7th season. In addition, the model became quite badly rusted during the production of Season 8. Unfortunately, that spelled the end for the model. However, the story doesn't necessarily end there. While I'm not sure what happened to his model as of nowadays, I can tell you Fergus had a second model built, but not a second Gauge 1 model. He actually had a close-up model, which as you guys know were required for scenes where they would have to interact with large-scale figures. Much like the other characters, Fergus's model was not complete, and only the back half was ever built. The model, just like the smaller one, was also equipped with a motor and a drive wheel, the motor powering the drive wheel and the flywheel, and I believe we only see this model in Fergus Breaks the Rules. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not only the history of Fergus, but a little bit of a look into the real-life version. Unfortunately, as a character, Fergus really just doesn't have much to him. He's an original classic series character, I guess, but he's not really a railway series character. He doesn't have a very in-depth lore. So unfortunately, this video's probably not as long as many of the others. However, hopefully you guys still enjoyed learning a little bit more about the character, and hopefully you'll leave this video with a little bit more knowledge on him. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe for even more Train content. There's always more stuff on the way. And as always guys, thanks again for watching. And with all of that being said, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.